and welcome to my summer shorts Oscar. They are beginner's shorts, but you should have a little bit of experience or bring some patience here. And we've got some lovely pockets. I've also put a tab on so you could put anything of importance on there. I've got a tie, and so the end doesn't fray. I've put a little tab on the end there. That's really cute as well, I think. The elastication is not too tight, so you can just pull the tie to make it as tight as it needs to be. On the back, I've got these oversized pockets, and you can wear these trousers either rolled up, of course, or as Bermuda shorts. Especially the older boys, they don't really like it when they're too rolled up. Like this one I did for the cowboys. So if the cowboys are your team, then that might be something for you. You can roll the shorts up or not, and if you're really brave, you can do it in a check as well. And for smaller kids, of course, you could do them contrasting turn-ups and waistband, and I think that's really, really sweet as well. So make up your mind what you want to do, and let's get started. Each size comes as an individual pattern, so you don't have any lines that you need to watch and go, oops, I've cut the wrong one. So when you've printed it off, you should check your scale and make sure it's 5 centimeters or 1 inch. If you set your printer to 100%, that should automatically come out right. And then we've got the dashed line here, and that's just an attachment line that makes it easier to put the stuff together. So that's how the pieces are joined. You also get a layout plan which shows you how to cut everything. So let's have a look at the pattern. The front is 2 pieces for the smaller sizes and 3 pieces for the larger sizes. So you overlap where you've got your little notch and you join that with sellotape, and the front's done. The back comes in 3 pieces. The smaller sizes only have 2 pieces, and then the larger sizes again have 3 pieces. Make sure that the dashed lines disappear. The pocket has 2 pieces. I think this very small size comes in 1 piece, but then it's just not enough space on an A4 or letter size sheet. The waistband comes in 2 pieces for all sizes. So let's have a little look at the front and the pocket. The pocket comes in 1, so if you fold it over here along the fold line, that's perfect. You don't really need that fold line automatically when you line them up on the side. It will be in the right position. You can see the slanted line here. That's where the pocket is. So if you slide that underneath the front, like that, this is how it's going to be sewn together. So you've got the back of the pocket showing, and if it's a different fabric that you've chosen, then maybe you want to put the facing on. The facing goes onto the pocket before we put the stuff together, so that could be a third fabric if you like. So the pocket could be in something cheaper, and then you can do the facing in the same fabric as the trouser, or you could again have a totally different fabric as a contrast. And then when it's sewn together, you've got a really lovely pocket inserted. The back has got a dart. That's all I need to say to that. And we need to make sure we mark all of this when we're cutting out. We've got a pocket template, which is not to be cut out of fabric. It's just to make sure we iron it right. Now we've got a toggle cover, which needs to be cut on the bias. That's a 45-degree angle, so we've got a bit of stretch. And a keyring tab, which is of course the one that we can hang the keys from, or an identification or something when your child's out with a kindergarten or something. So we need the elastic, 5 centimeters wide. I've chosen a blue linen coordinated thread, and then we've also got the little eyelets. Now the eyelets have got a thicker one and a thinner one, and the thicker one is the one that is the one for the top, and the thinner one is the one that goes on the wrong side of the fabric. And then with the fabric in between, we annoy our neighbors and really bang on it. And now we've also got the ties, which I think is really lovely. That stuff you can just get at the haberdashery. And I've got a little bit of a rest to do my little tabs and toggle ends. When you're cutting out, you want to place your fabric on the fold so that you get 2 of each, and then use the lay plan, and there's a separate lay plan for each size so that you know what you have to cut out. So here you can see that it's fairly simple. And then to cut out and those 2 bits and the facing, I'm actually cutting out of a different fabric, and in fact the facing I'm not cutting at all because my pocket is in the same fabric as the trouser. Then I make sure that my arrows run parallel to the selvage so that everything is cut out perfectly. And when you're cutting out, you want to make sure that you cut from the left side of the fabric. That makes it so much easier. When you have cut out, you want to mark your pieces. That means marking the dart and the center front. You also want to mark the center of your waistband, so a little snip either side. Then when the waistband is folded over and you take off the centimeter seam allowance, your eyelet should sit in the middle. So I'm cutting out the eyelet space so I can mark it. But before I do that, I want to put a bit of Vilene and iron that onto the other side. That's iron on interfacing so that it doesn't rip out. I actually didn't do it on this particular one because it's just to show you how it works, but you should definitely do that. Then you mark it with tailor's chalk, snip, and now we've got enough space to put through our eyelet. Don't make the snips too big or cut like a big circle out because it'll just fray and it'll just rip. It needs to be quite tight in there. The pocket you just fold over and iron it. It just makes it easier to work with. Now we're cutting the little tab that goes on the end of our ties. So I'm cutting this out on a 45-degree angle, which is called the bias. And then I have got a little bit of stretch in it. So when I pull this little tabby thing down, it actually will go. You'll see it when we're sewing it later that is very important. Don't cut it on the straight. I tried that first and I could not get it down, so I had to start again. The tab for the key or the identification or something like that, I would have found this really useful when my son was 7 and he was on the playground, which was right next to the house. So that can be cut out on the straight. Now let's put in those eyelets first, and I'm putting the thicker part of the eyelet through from the top, and then the smaller one goes on the back. And now I'm going to take my little tool and the black one, which has a ridge inside it, so that actually the little ridge of the eyelet really fits on it. So I can really bang that in, and that made some racket here on my balcony, I tell you. It was really loud. Anyway, we're ready to go now. And if you want to see how to actually make the shorts, then you can click on this link and I will see you there. So thank you for watching. Bye.